What happened to you where you moved from commercial airline travel to corporate jets?
You can imagine my body all crumpled into that little monkey seat, for my size body. So I booked a flight to LA. Of course, the flight was late. Then the LA flight to Denver. And of course, they lost the luggage there and they were delayed. And then Denver to Aspen. Well, by the time I got to Aspen, it was like 8 hours later. So I turned my staff and I said, get me a jet.
That was the moment.
And I had any money. I said, get me a small jet, charter it. And I said, but I got to sleep. And they go, they don't have beds on those Learjets. Small. I can't even sit up in the Learjet.
Yeah.
Right? What if I was dying? I said, you put me on a gurney. Get a gurney in there. I got to sleep because I can't get up on no sleep and do another seminar for thousands of people. I said, if we leave at 2, it'll take 3 hours to get there. I'll sleep during those 3 hours. I get some sleep under my belt, be over there. They told me it couldn't be done. I wouldn't accept that. We finally found a guy, and we got a stretcher, that they transport a body in. He put in that little Learjet. They locked it all down. I finished the seminar. I came in. I'll never forget.
I can't believe you fit in there.
I get in there. I can't even sit up in the thing. So I crawl out on that thing. They locked me in the stretcher. And then, you can practically touch the captain right there. It's so small, right? And when we lifted off, I'm lying in bed and we turned down and saw Santa Monica Bay and then turned up and saw the moon. I was like, this is the way to live. So I made the budget. I called you. Should know, the ultimate guy over here. Start moving me up. It's like,
I got that phone call from you when you landed.
I was like, I'm never doing that again. I want the range. And so I came to your amazing office, and anybody's not seen it, I'm sure they've seen it, they follow you. You got your walls, and you'd been in my seminar the day before, so you had it all decked out with me on stage. You're so good, Steve. And then you showed me my options, and we got to the Global. I'd been on a Global once before. It's like a living room compared to, even the Gulfstream. All right, we got to find a way to do this, and you helped me get an unbelievable deal. Best deal I could possibly find thanks to you. But I love that Global, and we flew it for 5 years. And then I remember when we were closing that deal, you took me in your little closing room as a BBJ, and I was sitting there looking around going, someday I got to do this, And I'll tell you the other thing that private aviation does besides giving you unbelievable freedom, and I get to sleep in the nighttime, we're traveling, great food, all those things, be with your family, have meetings and so forth.